This is Dead Island 2, but you figured that out from the title. The game starts with one of our 6 Slayers trying to escape LA. Yes, I know my comedic genius knows no bounds. No, do not look at the marketing campaign. We are first introduced to Amy, and even though she's only got one leg, she's fast as a word I can't say 15 seconds into a YouTube video. I want that sweet, sweet green monetization symbol, if you know what I'm saying. We're then introduced to our next character, Ryan, who uses his giant hose to get the ladies wet. Oh wait, hang on, no, I'm pretty sure he's not actually a fireman. We then meet Bruno, and judging by his hair, claws and tattoos, is either a mumble rapper or suffering from extreme mental illness. We then meet Carla, who arrives on a superbike covered in blood, and I'm pretty sure it's not that time of the month. These army dudes just let her on the plane without even checking her credentials, and if I'm being honest, I do the same too. Fair play to her. After a miniature earthquake, the army's like, nah, fuck the civilians, we gotta go, boys. Now it's past the 30 seconds mark, I can say fuck as much as I want, boys. Although saying it twice that close together might have really screwed me. Shit. The final 2 characters we're introduced to are much more my style. We've got Jacob, who climbs himself aboard through the aircraft landing gear. Then finally we're introduced to Danny, and even though we have no idea how she managed to sneak away on board, but the fact she just fell the way out of a suitcase tells me it could have been completely accidental. Anyway, this is a zombie game based in LA, so obviously our heroes don't manage to escape. Our plane actually gets shot down, and during our descent we get to choose our character. I choose Danny the Irish lass, because I want those sweet Irish tones to soothe my gameplay, and wake up after surviving the plane crash relatively unscathed. Ah shit, hang on. No, I got massive shrapnel sticking out of my abdomen. Danny has apparently never seen Holby City, as she just rips out the foreign body, and the following blood squirt almost guarantees I'm not earning any money from this video. God damn you, Danny, you bitch. Thankfully, I'm able to find a first aid kit, and after stabbing myself with a strange needle and sticking a little plaster on that bad boy, I'm now sound and ready to fight the undead. Get the hell out. I can do that. I leap from the burning wreckage, and the first thing I want to test out is whether or not this game has fire damage. But no matter how many times I try, it just won't let me throw myself into the flames. Ah, man, it just won't let me set myself on fire. What's going on with this game? I slowly make my way through the fiery pit of the wreckage, and then I make a fantastic discovery. Yep, definitely on fire. I'm then able to find a weapon in the wreckage. Only in America will you just find a random machete just lying on a box near a plane crash. You know what I mean? I also find plenty of metal parts and metal crates, which makes a lot of sense considering this is now technically a disaster zone. I then search for more survivors in the other half of the plane wreckage, but so far my search has come up empty. I guess that's why you don't take a shit while the plane crashes. Didn't even have a chance to wipe. After making sure he's definitely dead, I move on. The jet's engine explodes right in front of me. Oh man, I wanted to jump in the jet engine. Probably shouldn't look too much into that sentence. And even if we did, I can't afford a therapist anyway. I do manage to find some survivors and almost get piped to death in the process. But that piping surely wouldn't have concluded with a happy ending. We're introduced to Emma, who's some sort of celebrity, and her bitch boy PA, Michael. Together we find more survivors chilling under the wreckage of the aeroplane. I mean, I'm pretty sure your wife's dead, mate. She's under a plane wing, like. Danny reckons she's got a pulse, but personally I wouldn't trust the medical expertise of a woman who ripped out rusty shrapnel out of her stomach. The rich and famous decide they've been around the poor for too long, and they're like, nah, fuck this, you're on your own back. And I now need to keep these 2 alive all on my own, son. Well, one of them, let's be honest, one of them's definitely dead. Get help. Well, that's obviously a zombie. And you know what? I'm bloody right. I know you lot watching probably couldn't have worked that out, but guys, this is what I do. I'm a professional gamer. I then proceed to slice his face out with my machete. I get the kill, but at what cost? Oh, well, I fucked up my machete. But luckily, there's a massive hammer just lying a few meters away. Oh my god! Ah! I know what you're gonna say, professional gamer my ass. Now listen here, you pricks. I ain't bloody psychic, alright? And if I was, I'd have won the lottery by now. Pick up that hammer, love. I used the hammer to slay the undead. And Jesus Christ, these things must have the sneaking skill of ninjas, as we were like perfectly on our own like 30 seconds ago. The undead fall mainly thanks to my head stomp abilities. She has got some incredible calf muscles, mate. Just crush a skull like that. I finished the rest of the undead thanks to my explosive abilities. I then smack up to gain some health. At the end of the day, this is still LA. And if you ain't a junkie, you ain't somebody. Thankfully, the survivor's still alive, so I decide to pour some water down his bottom lip. What a great use of a valuable resource. Unfortunately, his missus is less receptive. Yep, that's kind of predictable. What a bitch. After I beat her with a stiletto, I stomp in the head of Othello. I have no idea whether or not they were in on it together, but I'm just a revengeful bastard. Now I've been bitten, I'm infected, and just a dead man walking. Well, that is until I pass out. Well, that is until I wake up in a completely different location. But I'm not worried about that now. The sun is shining and the game's looking beautiful. And I'm Welsh. This game is the most sunlight I've seen this year. And you'd be stupid if you thought I'm not going to make the bloody most of it. To be fair though, you've woke up in a gated community, love. Fucking talk about
luck, like? How do you even get in here?
I find a map near the corpse of this Amazon driver, and it's one of those really creepy celebrity maps, and it shows you where all the successful people live. And there's one person I recognise, Emma. I decide that would be my best bet for survival, but before I make my way there, I really want to make sure this Amazon driver's definitely dead. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if this guy is a victim of the zombie outbreak or Jeff Bezos's inhumane employment record. And frankly, I spend a ridiculous amount of time smacking this guy with the various sticks I've acquired so far. But no matter how many times I hit him,
it will not let me sever that spinal column.
After deciding it's probably best to move on, I decide a shortcut through this Bel Air mansion is the best way to go. But this being the houses of the rich and famous, everyone's got a bloody electric gate. And some silly twat has gone and removed all the circuit breakers. Thankfully, I find one in a garage nearby, and lucky Danny is an electrical engineer. God, imagine if I'd picked one of those other sorry saps. I'd have been stuck and unable to progress like 20 minutes into the game. Talk about the luck of the Irish.
Stamp on the face. Stamp on the face. Wow, you have been dead for quite some time. But
that's not going to stop me from beating the ever so loving shit into him. I don't know what it is about games like this, but it always brings out my sadistic side.
Any excuse just to kick the heads in of the rich and famous, am I right? Hey.
I get attacked by more zombies, but luckily I got hell of a throw on me.
Oh, what a shot that was.
With them taken care of, I make my way through the mansion, and Danny shows off more of her electrical engineering skills in order to break into this panic room. I smack more zombies and steal everything I can get my grubby little hands on. But please don't judge me in the comment section, these are the rich and famous, and it's the zombie apocalypse. When's the next opportunity I'm gonna get to loot? At this point, I've destroyed all of my weapons, mainly from smacking them on inanimate objects, so I'm forced to defend myself with my bare knuckles.
Hey, I'm from Ireland, love. I know how to fucking fight, you weak.
And if anyone's wondering about the word I censored there, I'll tell you about it when I see you next Tuesday. Luckily, rich people like to keep swords in glass boxes, which is so uncool, All the cool people keep them on the wall behind them in the video game setup. But what annoys me most about making my way through all these rich and famous mansions is not once do I find an assortment of AR-15 assault rifles, but thank God for their collection of wooden sticks and police batons. I do manage to find my way to Emma's house, and after ringing the buzzer, they let me in, no questions asked. Michael's like, oh my God, you made it, how lucky you didn't get bit. And I'm like, oh yeah, about that, and then he sticks a bloody gun in my face. What a bell end. At the end of the day, I might have been alright if they hadn't have bloody abandoned me. Anyway, after a brief squabble about what to do with me, I once again pass out. I guess today was a bad day to skip out on my iron tablets. Miraculously, I wake up chained up in Emma's gym, and that's when I realise these lot have the survival instincts of a baby gazelle. Because personally, if a relative stranger had turned up at my house having been bit by a bloody zombie, I'd have put 15 rounds into his face, no questions asked. I ask if I can be let out because the fever's gone and I'm feeling on top of the bloody world, man. They're like, nah, I don't think so, but well, that is until the zombies attack the house and they need me to defend them. For some reason, they don't give me the handgun, but that's alright, I've unlocked something much more deadly. The drop kick ability, which will definitely become my main personality trait from here on out. Mainly thanks to my drop kick ability, I take out the approaching horde. But then I gotta find another circuit breaker in order to close this gate to keep us safe. Luckily, rich people always hoard all the supplies. But unfortunately, their spare circuit breaker's currently on fire, and all I've got to put it out is a jerry can full of water. But as Danny's an electrical engineer, she should know better than to put water on an electrical fire. Okay, well, apparently not. Apparently, American electronics are more reliable than British, because even though this circuit breaker's been burnt and then doused in water, it still works perfectly fine and I'm able to close the gate, but not before more zombies have worked their way in. But luckily, I'm an ingenious bastard, and thanks to the combination of dodgy wiring and my dropkick ability, I take them all out with relative ease. And big shout out to the incredibly overpowered insta-kill face stomp with a single button press. I head back inside expecting a hero's welcome. Alright, well, don't you all rush to hug me. I just saved your lives, you ungrateful bastards. That's when Sam B from the first game rocks up, and unfortunately for me, Shotgun definitely beats Broken Pool Cue. But he's actually pretty sound like, and he tells me he's also immune and has already survived this outbreak in Dead Island 1 and Riptide. He's even nice enough to teach me how to strap a battery to a machete so we can electrify the undead. After that, I go around searching Emma's mansion and find an assortment of blades, aerosols and glues hanging out in her bathroom. Hey, no judgment from me, but I am gonna take them to help me survive the zombie apocalypse. And when I speak to Emma, she's like, any chance you can head to the local hotel to see if there's any surviving authorities? I'm like, yeah, no problem, I'm not worried about being eaten by the undead. And this is where you'd think she'd give me the handgun to help aid in my survival. But no, apparently I've just gotta rely on my Duracell powered machete. What I really like about this game is you can use the environment to help kill the undead, like luring these zombies towards some frayed electrical wires and lobbing a jerry can full of water at them.
Yes, you should fry Fry, my pretties, fry.
I then steal a battery from this police car and discover it's the most overpowered weapon in the entire game.
I mean, I've never thrown a car battery at someone, but I didn't know it would do that. I'm definitely trying that out tomorrow.
You might not have realised this, but zombies actually have terrible survival instincts. They also don't realise water doesn't mix well with electricity.
I suppose I could just turn that off. You know, it's like a health and safety nightmare, isn't it? I don't know if he's alive or not.
I then discover that car batteries aren't as reusable as I originally thought.
I love this weapon. This is amazing. Wait, hang on, what's happened to my battery?
I take the appropriate revenge and move on, doing everything I can to lure the unsuspecting zombies into my traps. I then come across some valuable loot, the other side of an electrical obstruction, and I'm sure this simple early game puzzle will be no problem whatsoever for this self-proclaimed professional gamer.
And I've just made that more of a hazard.
In the end, I decided to just risk it and yeet myself into the problem. I collect the goodies, and it turns out they weren't that valuable to begin with. It's also a bloody good thing that LA isn't likely to receive any drought, as they have water just pissing out of every orifice. But if anything, it's a massive benefit to me and my lithium core machete.
Yeah, that's it. God, batteries are just incredible, aren't they?
Alright, calm the fuck down, Elon Musk.
Oh, that's a trick shot.
The game suggests I take a shortcut through this fancy-ass mansion, but I get too distracted in my tirade against the wealthy. Instead of doing what they suggest in finding a keycard and working my way through the mansion, I decide to find my own way in by jumping off a balcony and breaking through a window. But apparently I have this weird ability where I just set things on fire.
That's a weird, like, security system.
I don't find anything of much use in this mansion. At the end of the day, all I really want to find is a massive machine gun. This is supposed to be America, like. It's the only thing they've got over the rest of the world, and they can't even do that properly.
Right, I can make that. Yeah.
I then decide I want to drop kick this zombie off the edge of this balcony. But it turns out my aim is less than desirable.
Oh, I missed.
How I messed that up, I'll never bloody know. But again, zombies have no survival instincts. After more slicing and drop kicks, I take out the rest of the zombies.
Man, this weapon is incredible. Oh my god!
Thankfully, the game gives you an abundance of medical kits, so I inject myself with a bit of black tar to heal my burns.
I injected myself with some smack and it shattered the windows.
I then find the most terribly descript zombie in gaming history.
It's called a walker. I don't want to be discriminatory, but I don't think that's possible.
After more head stomps and drop kicks, we move on. Back in the streets this time, I find a jerry can full of petrol, and almost instinctively I lob it at a group of zombies munching on some roadkill. I then lob my electrical machete, which causes a semi-impressive explosion.
Right, the only thing is, did I just ruin my weapon by doing that? Kinda grew attached to that machete.
Apparently, I'm also lacking key survival instincts, as I happily risk third-degree burns for sharp, pointy electric
Give
thing.
it, get it, got it. Okay, I got it. Oof, only slightly burned.
I then use another jerry can I find nearby to test out the fire mechanics. And I gotta be honest, I was incredibly impressed with them. But that might be because the simplest minds are impressed by the simplest things.
This is my favourite thing now.
The fire always finds a way to burn
No,
me.
I'm on fire.
While making my way through LA, I accidentally lob some zombie bait, try to waterboard the army, then inspect some serious pothole damage.
Just get the local council on that. It's health and safety nightmare like.
I then discover the pothole to end all potholes. But spotting several zombies in knee-high water with what appears to be a fuel truck in the background is like a message from God, and I know what I've got to do. I stick my sparky machete into the water, and chaos ensues. Zombies fry and the fuel truck explodes. But explosions in the apocalypse, I've basically just rung a giant dinner bell. So I think it might be time to leave. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see more Dead Island 2, let me know in the comment section. If this video gets 200 likes, I'll force Amy to play with me, and I know you'll all piss yourselves at that. If you want to join the Discord, it's linked in the description. Thank you, and goodbye.